Let me see if I can get my Bluetooth on. I want to see if my Bluetooth is clear. Good morning, everyone. This is behind the scenes of Today with Pastor Jay, and of course, I am off location devices. Here, let's see if that's going to connect. Let's see how this works. All right. Can you hear me now? How's that? Okay, how's that? Dr. Short.
You're very choppy.
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody can hear me. I just want to make sure my Bluetooth is working. Those that are watching, you're going to hear a little echo for a minute until Mark mute himself. So Mark, I guess. Yeah. All right. So Dr. Short. Let me look real quick. Simon, do you have a pen?
Maybe.
Just thinking about it. That's all right. How do I not have a pen? And there's not a pen in the hotel? Imagine that. What kind of hotel we in that don't have an ink pen?
Well, that's to prevent people from getting COVID from the pen.
Oh, I have a pen. I have a pen. Look at there. Ain't nobody getting COVID from a pen.
Yeah, at the banks, they have clean pens and dirty pens that people use. Yeah. It's a way to save.
Randy Short.
It's a way to save money.
What's the name of your new book?
My book is right here.
Slavery is Mastery.
Slavery's Mastery. Slavery's Mastery.
Slavery's Mastery. Okay.
Right.
This pen's not writing anymore. Look at that. But you know what? It's actually a shank. Look, Dr. Short.
Oh, well, I would believe you have that living in Florida.
I don't know why my pen stopped writing. Oh, well, there goes that. I guess it's not a pen anymore. All right, so we're going to talk about, we'll talk about you and your book a little bit, and then I want to segue into talking about these people at the Olympics and stuff, about them not.
And you can add Bill Cosby.
Oh, you want to add Bill Cosby too?
Oh, he's my cousin, so I'm related to Bill. So,
7. Try to find me a pen, please, or a marker.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. There got to be one around here somewhere. Try not to go past the lamp, because then people can see you.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna go past the lamp.
Oh, she's gonna go past the lamp.
Right.
Bill Cosby. This is gonna be good. I need to update my titles to add Bill Cosby to it. Let me see. Am I streaming on any other platform? I can't tell. I'm supposed to be. Okay. All right. So, do we want to open up, Mark, with our regular opening, or do I want to open up with like no, you know what? Let's open up with our regular opening. Then we'll take a break. And when we take a break, we'll go out with like maybe God Bless America or something along those lines. And then we'll come back in with the pledge. So the first part of the show, Dr. Short, I'm going to talk about you and what you're doing and all this other kind of stuff and everything. A little bit about you. We'll throw in, oh, she found me a pen. Thank you, Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Then in the middle of the show, we're going to talk about the Pledge of Allegiance thing.
Oh, you mean just the people acting out at the Olympics?
Yep, pretty much. Yep. And then we'll talk about Bill Cosby. Okay. Unless you want to, we can start off with Bill.
Oh, yeah, that's the most breaking news.
Okay. All right, we'll do it. All right, regular thing. You ready, Mark? I guess he's muted.
And then I use the chat to just give you your.
Ooh, glad you mentioned that. Yes, I'm going to have chat up. I wonder if I can move that. Nope, I cannot. That's all right. I got chat up.
And what did you want to use to close out the first?
Maybe God Bless America or America Beautiful or something.
Okay.
You want to get it to a point?
I have America the Beautiful. I have like the Navy band version.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Did you find the pledge?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay. So when we come in from the second break, well, from the first break, I should say, play the Pledge of Allegiance one, because then I'm going to start talking about the people at the Olympics.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Short, you left me? Oh, he'll be back. Dr. Short. You guys can't make this stuff up. So I'm in Orlando. I had a beautiful day yesterday. I actually popped in. Dr. Short. I'm gonna have to call him on. I can't call him on his phone because he's got his phone there. I just took you off for a second, Mark, so you won't be echoing until Dr. Short gets back. So I can at least talk to the people that are watching me live. Yes, I'm streaming on YouTube. Oh, Dr. Short, where you disappeared to?
Well, I went to get my phone just to check. And, we can add one other thing. I'm kind of pissed about, I have an ancestor that was in the Confederacy.
Mm-hmm.
And this ancestor was vice president of the United States. And he ran against Abraham Lincoln and lost.
Mm-hmm.
And they're removing the statues. And I'm offended. I'd rather the statue stay. I used to go and see the statue, and now they're going to rip it out. And I guess that's to fight racism. I mean, nobody asked me. I'm black, or at least they say I'm black.
Well, you look black to me. All right, Mark, I think because this is airing on 4th of July. So you only have the two songs, America the Beautiful and the Pledge.
And
Do you have the Star Spangled Banner?
Yes.
Okay, maybe I can go in with the Star Spangled Banner, since this is going to air on 4th of July instead of my regular thing.
The intro, you mean?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, I'm ready whenever you're ready. Dr. Short, we're not going to talk so we can hear the music, and then he'll mute himself.
Okay.
Happy 4th of July. Welcome to Today with Pastor Jay on this wonderful show. I'm excited because it's 4th of July. This show airs on 4th of July. Of course, it's pre-recorded, and I have my wonderful guest. You might hear echo every now and then because I am off site out of Palm Coast currently right now. I'm in Orlando. Had a wonderful and beautiful day here. Brought my daughter. It's her senior year. Well, she's going into her senior year in high school. So I figured, hey, let's get out of town for a day and have something fun to do. Unbeknownst to me that the Flagler County commissioners were going to be at a conference here in Orlando. So I decided to pop in with them and say hi for half a second. And then Dr. Alveda King was in Titusville. So I ran to Titusville and had an opportunity to have dinner with her. So what turned out going to be a time with my daughter, I'm going to have to make it up because now I was traveling all over. But my special guest this morning on 4th of July is Dr. Randy Short. He's hailing from Washington, D.C. Good morning, Dr. Short. How are you?
I'm blessed, and so are you.
Thank you. Can you believe 4th of July already? So we're going to have to get in at Hot Topic in just a moment, but you've got a new book called Slavery's Mastery. Tell me what that's about.
Well, it's my doctoral dissertation. It's on the life of the most famous Black man in the world next to Booker T. Washington, named William Henry Shepherd. But I talk a lot about religion, the formations of the Presbyterian Church, and religion, race, and it's told through the life of Reverend Shepherd, who ended up went as a missionary to the Congo, establishing the largest Protestant mission in Africa, as well as being one of the people that helped expose the genocide of up to 20 million people in the Congo in early 1900. And so this man was friends with President Roosevelt and Queen Victoria, who was born just after the Civil War, and went on to become basically one of the godfathers. He's one of the key people that brought about the Harlem Renaissance and people being proud of having African origins. So he's one of the greatest African art collectors in American history, and one of the early founders of the NAACP.
So tell people how they can get your book. Where can they go and purchase a copy of your book?
hollismedia.net. HOLLISMEDIA.net, and look for Slavery's Mastery. And I hope people buy it. I've had a lot of opposition. Someone has been seizing the books, taking them from people, taking mine. I had like 4 or 5 sets of books sent to me that all disappeared. So
are you serious?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, this book isn't revolutionary. It's not threatening anybody. It's just telling a story academically. So that's taken me 15 years to get this put in print, but it's here. And I thank God for it. It's good reading. You'll learn a lot about Africa, Europe, America, religion, race, you name it. It's very thick. It's
I see.
Oh yes, it's yep. It's 600 pages. Enjoy it. I went through a whole lot. I was on 3 continents doing research, and I still don't think I finished, but I got it done. So traveled all over America, traveled to Canada, traveled to Switzerland, Belgium, France, England, Scotland, Ireland. A little bit of Germany, and of course I went to Ghana and South Africa for other research.
Well, I can tell you, I didn't realize well-traveled. I learned something new about you every time you're on my show, which you aren't a stranger to this show, very outspoken. So let's talk about this hot topic. Bill Cosby is free. He's a free man after the Pennsylvania Supreme Court overturns a sex assault conviction. What say you? Now, what's this I'm hearing that he's, a relative of yours? Is this true?
Yeah. Yes. Bill Cosby is probably a 5th or 6th cousin of mine.
Okay.
I've talked to Bill Cosby once, and maybe closer than that, but I knew Bill Cosby's aunt, Mrs. Harris, because they would go to the family reunion. So this is a woman that used to take care of Bill Cosby when his mother wasn't around. So, I mean, there's something there. I mean, so Bill Cosby's related. When I spoke to Bill, once I explained to him where my family was from in Virginia, he has family from Lawrenceville, Virginia. Lawrenceville is very small. I have family from Lawrenceville, Virginia. All of these people are related. And in fact, we'd have a lot fewer murders and a range of other things if people understood how closely related we are as human beings. So Bill was initially cold. And once I started dropping things, he had to admit, yes, it's true. And if I showed you pictures of my father's brothers, they look like Bill Cosby. I have a cousin that looks like Bill Cosby. That I have the same hair that he does. We have all the moles. He looks like an ordinary person in our large extended family. It's a very common look.
Let's talk about truth. What's up about this sexual assault conviction being overturned?
Well, one, there are two things. First and foremost, Bill Cosby settled and did a lot of things because he promised to not cheat on his wife, and he got busted yet again. He testified, and they made a deal that what he told the truth of in his initial settlement, in which he paid up to $4 million to this lady, Constant, and admitted all this stuff. This all came out of him trying to hide an affair from his wife instead of being honest. And when they made a deal, they were not supposed to unseal his testimony that he gave to incriminate him later. And that's exactly what they did. That's a malicious prosecution. So they had no right to do that.
That's right, because the civil case was used against him at trial.
Yeah, if they had wanted to punish Bill Cosby, they shouldn't have taken the deal way back and let this woman's merits of her charges against him stand, instead of trying to use this. And it's all political. The prosecutor did a poll and found out the way he could get elected was to convict or charge, reopen the case on Bill Cosby. So there was not so much that he's a threat to anybody, but someone to get political payoff did this. On top of that, the woman, Constant, is a career lesbian, has never been involved with any men. Why is she consistently engaging herself with this man? And why was evidence about her friend who knew that she had told her, I'm going to get rich off of Bill Cosby, he's a gold mine? Why wasn't that testimony used? That's a clear case of someone wanting money. Why would you tell someone? It wasn't discussed that Miss Constant's mother is an extreme white supremacist.
So are you saying that you believe he's innocent?
I'm going to answer as I told everyone. Do I believe that people in Hollywood who hang with Hugh Hefner have open marriages and promiscuous sex lives? Yes. But we also know that there are persons, women, who use sex and drugs to advance themselves in Hollywood. People have regrets later. And some of the women were unconvincing. One of them, to me, resembled the abominable snowman. And I just didn't think that Bill did that one. There was a woman who was representing him legally.
What do you mean? Wait, hold on. Pause just a moment. Abominable snowman?
Yes, this woman, I didn't think she's credible. Some of the people there look like March of Dimes poster children instead of women that are voluptuous and attractive and appealing that would get the eye of Bill Cosby. I'm not saying that everyone that gets assaulted is good looking, but here you have a celebrity, you have a star, right? You have someone that has all kinds of people. Why would they pick the most unappealing women, many of whom by Attorney Presley were proven to be
maybe that's his thing.
No, that's not his thing. His attorney Presley proved that many of them, at least 9 of them, were lying altogether, and another 2 came out afterwards and said that they had lied on Bill Cosby, meaning that out of the so-called 40 that they had, 1 in 4 of them didn't tell the truth outright. So,
but what if there was just 1 that told the truth? Let's just get to that.
Then that person should have filed charges. In America, a white female accusing a black man of rape throughout this country's history has almost always gotten justice. In fact, I would challenge you, tell me a case that you know of a black woman that's charged a white man for rape and 400 years that has gotten to court and won. I only know of 2 cases in all the years I've done research where a black woman being raped by a white man got a conviction. I don't know if it's just black men being lynched, killed, falsely accused, having been accused of assaulting a white woman that I didn't even touch. I know how easy it is for someone to lie. Lying is done. We have all these stories constantly about Karens, women who lie, who swat white women, time again, until it's now known. It's part of the culture. It's part of white supremacist female privilege that they can lie on black men and be taken seriously. These women should.
You have opened up a can of worms. We're gonna have to go back.
I've told the truth.
Well, we're going to have to come back to that, but we got to take a break. And when we come back from the break, I want to talk about these women in the Olympics that's winning and stuff, these Black women particularly, that are refusing to pledge allegiance to the flag. Don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial. You are listening to Today with Pastor J.
What was that?
When you hear the music, don't talk. Dr. Short. This off location stuff. All right. So when we come back in, let me look up I don't even want to mention the ladies' names, but hold on. My daughter's going to want to tag in.
Why should I stand up for a country?
Yo,
stand up for me.
Here we go.
That's all I'm saying.
All right. Hammer, Thor turns away. Okay, here we go. All right, you ready?
Yes.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome back. You're listening to Today with Pastor J, and I'm telling you, what's up with this? I've got Dr. Short. Thank you for being a guest from out of Washington, D.C. Black man. He's all about what's going on with the Black community. So I got to ask you, did you see the Olympics? It's a big, huge thing now where Gwendolyn Berry, she looks away as her other, two peers. They stand for the national anthem after the finals of the women's hammer throw at the U.S. Olympic track and field trials on, I believe it was June the 26th. Listen, they've been paid. Look, what's up with this? She's not pledging. She's turned her face. She's like, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Well, I would say to you, in 1973, I didn't do the Pledge of Allegiance when I was in the 3rd grade because I had a very racist teacher, and I would face the opposite direction. And my teacher tried to force, and my principal ultimately prevailed that I didn't have to do it. Do I have an issue with the Pledge of Allegiance? Not really. But my thing is that there should be liberty and justice for all. I didn't experience it as a 3rd grader from racist Mr. Gates, who not only didn't like me for being Black, he didn't like me for being apostolic Pentecostal or holiness. And so I wasn't treated fairly. That was a way of showing my displeasure with how I was treated. I don't know how the people are treated by the U.S. Olympics Committee. There's a history, Jesse Owens and others, and the 1968 thing where they may not treat everybody fairly. In fact, the U.S. Olympics Committee allowed all those gymnasts and others to be raped by that physician that got busted within the last 2 years. So there may be extenuating circumstances to which would make this woman not want to do the Pledge of Allegiance, but I think that it's proper to do the Pledge of Allegiance. And I think it would be proper if people go overseas, that if you're representing the United States, that's expected of you. Okay, now they in Mexico City,
well, before you get to Mexico City, I want to talk about this real quick. So while they played the music, she placed her hand on her hip, shuffled her feet. She took a quarter turn and was facing the stands, not the flag. And toward the end, she plucked up her black T-shirt with the words "activist athlete." That was on the front.
Well, do most people know what the Star Speical banner says about Black people?
What does it say?
Well, I'm going to read the stanza. You only know one stanza. Stanza number 3 reads, and where's that band that so vauntingly swore that the havoc of war and the battle's confusion, a home and a country should leave us no more? Their blood has washed out their foul footsteps' pollution. No refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave. And the star-spangled banner and triumph doth wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave. The song was written in opposition to the fact that blacks from this region, the DMV, the Delaware, DC, Maryland, Virginia, had joined the British Royal Marines to fight for their freedom. And so they were killing black people in this region to prevent them from joining the British Army to get their freedom. And the United States military forces lost at the Battle of Bladensburg to armed black men who wanted their freedom, who helped burn the White House and the Capitol and other things. We shouldn't have had slavery. So for all the patriotic white people out there, inhumanity and cruelty and racism is satanic, is Luciferian. You say you believe in God. If you've read the first epistle of John, you can't love God and hate your brother. And if you hate your brother, according to Revelations 21, you're going to hell. We shouldn't have these problems persistently. And I want to speak directly to Christians, both white and black. Black Christians need to stop begging for the cash that white people have gotten. And white Christians need to understand that racism, intolerance, and injustice is an abomination to God, just like homosexuality. It says in James, partiality is sin. If you're partial towards people over their color or their origin, God's not pleased. It's not negotiable with whites being the majority or having the money in this country. It's about God. Either it says, let God be true and every man a liar. The abolitionist movement would have probably applauded the young woman. And unfortunately, I want to be patriotic. But isn't that amazing that your national song celebrates killing black people?
Well, no one ever really gets to the third stanza.
One more second.
Okay,
do you know
Dr.
the United States Congress, this song was written in 1813. It took until about 1933 for it to become the national song because Southern congressmen did not want this song that talked about this racial conflict to be the national song, which is why we only sing stanza number 1, because the song is racist. Francis Scott Key supported black people being sent to Liberia, the whole theory. In fact, it's in my book. My book talks about it in part, that they were sending black people. There's a whole fake religious theory that black people can never be free in America. They can only be free in Africa. If blacks are kept in America and they're free, they'll exterminate white people. So they sent them to Africa where they had a 50-50 chance of dying from malaria or bad water. That was the American Colonization Society. So, right. I mean, it's all about.
Dr. Short. I got to ask you this question because we got to take a break, and it's going to be the last question because I know I'm getting text messages right now on my cell phones. People that are watching me, they're not putting online, but I got to ask you this question because blacks and whites have had, this tension between them of race forever. But I've got some white people that are texting saying that's history. That was then. That's really? Not now. So
Floyd George wasn't then. He's now. Okay. Bill Cosby wasn't then. He's now. There's a lying spirit. Racism is a satanic ideology. British Israelism is more part of what many people consider Christianity than a true belief in Jesus Christ. And so you're not going to heaven if you hate people. Even if if you think it's cool, you're not going to heaven.
Last question, Dr. Short. Last question. Mm-hmm. So do you think all white people are racist?
No, I never said that. I did say
Okay.
those are the racists.
Okay.
Those are the
All
racists
right. I just want to make
are
that
going to pay.
clear.
God's going to do it. They can't. It has
Okay.
nothing to do with what I'm saying. It's right there
Okay.
in 1 John 1. You hate your brother.
I
You
just want to
roast.
make that clear
You
because you were making
barbecue.
some generalized statements
Well,
earlier.
no.
And
It's
I
a generalized statement for the Bible. If you hate, you
Right.
don't go to heaven.
All right. Well, don't
Grow
go
up.
anywhere.
Grow
Don't
up.
touch that. I
Grow
can tell
up.
you're passionate about that. We're going to come back. And we're going to talk
No. It's the word of God. Either you believe in God or you don't. And many people don't believe in God. It's cultural to go to church. You haven't given your life to Christ.
I feel like I need to treat you like a hostile witness on the
No, you're not treating me like a hostile witness.
We gotta go. We're gonna take a break. Don't go anywhere. We're gonna hear a whole lot more from Dr. Randy Short because he has a lot to say. And I agree with your biblical principle points. And I'm glad you did say that you don't believe that all white people are racist or all Caucasians are racist. But when we come back from the break,
white abolitionists.
When we come back from the break, let's talk about blacks and racism within the black community. Don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to Today with Pastor J. Dr. Short, you on fire today. I ain't never
not
seen
on
you
fire.
this hot.
No, I'm not hot. No, the people down in Florida need to. I'm going to write a book. The book I'm thinking of. I've got
it together. Gonna say?
It's going to be can white people go to heaven?
Oh my goodness, Dr. Short, what am I going to do with you?
No.
My goodness. All right. So how much time? How much time do I have, Mark? Because he's going to tap. Oh, there's a question. She wants to know what you know about Marxism. I would love to hear his thoughts on that.
Well, that she's stupid. I'm not a Marxist.
No. He wants to know what you know about it. Not that you're a Marxist.
Well, Marxism is satanic as well. It denies the divinity of Jesus Christ. I'm not a Marxist. I don't like Marxism.
Well, she wasn't accusing you of that, but we're not going to talk about that in the show. That can be Nicole. I will have them back if you want me to, and we can talk about some stuff like that. Because as you can tell, Dr. Randy Short will tell it like it is from his perspective and his opinion. All right. So when we come back from the break, we're going to talk about a little bit of racism within the black community. Okay. All right. All right, Mark, cue it. Welcome back to Today with Pastor J, where I just called Dr. Randy Short a hostile witness like he was on the stand. He was going off. I'm like, hold on a minute. It's okay, Dr. Short. I love and adore you. In fact, you and I speak frequently throughout the weeks. You'll call me up and text me or something or whatever. I always have wonderful engaging conversations. You always pull out a different perspective maybe I didn't consider, or you're telling me something that's going on in the world or how it's going. So I value your opinion because I think you're just a wonderful, phenomenal guy. May not agree with everything you say, but most of what you say I do. But you speak from your experience. I speak from my experience. You're, very highly educated. I give you that. But let's talk about racism within the black community. Because, you and I, we got a little bit of, melanin in our skin. We got a little tint to us. But I come from a family, what we used to call back in the day. They probably still do it. Do they still call it high yellow? The real light-skinned brothers and sisters?
Yeah, we still have those things. Sure we do. That's probably what got Bill Cosby in trouble.
Why you say that?
Well, liking lighter or white or light-skinned women, and that may be part of his challenge in life. I know someone who was with his wife, his now wife, when they met at Maryland University 57 years ago. We do have a problem, but it all emanates from the same source. When you teach people that white is superior and godlike and everything else, and varying grades of color or shades of not white, although nobody's actually white, that the darker you are, the more disgusting you are. And if you internalize that and you have songs like Black and Blue, My Only Sin is in My Skin is in the song, and so forth and so forth and so forth, then we have a whole culture that teaches racial hatred and self-hatred to blacks. And there are rewards for people to not be dark. And there's also hatred and jealousy over people who are dark against people who are lighter. Look, my family, I mean, I'm sort of a kind of darker manifestation, but
and you're really not. You kind of got like a caramel color going on like me.
Well,
so I wouldn't say.
But what I'm trying to say to you is relative to my grandfather and to my grandfather's father, who could pass for white, my family is significantly white. I mean, the people looked white. I tell people about going to a family reunion, and there's a whole group of them that are blonde. I'm certainly not blonde, but my folks, because they were related more closely to whites who owned them, and in my instance, of people became abolitionists and freed them, got free. My family was free before 1800. My family was owning land at least either at the time of the American Revolution, if not before, meaning that the slavery thing for at least a particular branch of my family, there's no memory of it, because they were very, they basically, in most other places in the world, some of them would have been white, except for in America because of the obsession around race here. And so we have these families here, the Swans and Proctors, where people marry their cousins to try to remain light in complexion. They have a lot of health problems because they're too inbred. So to show you, people are so biased against other black people, they'd rather have retarded kids than mix with someone that's darker. And my family kind of broke the mold of being very light but marrying darker people. So we don't fit quite within those groups anymore. So we do have it, but it starts somewhere, and it starts with the violation of the scriptures. There's a thing called the Compromise of London from 1727, where Bishop Godwin Morgan of the Anglican Church in England deemed that blacks could become Christians provided Christian conversion did not accord them human treatment or freedom or rights. They could get those in heaven. So we have a bankrupt Christian foundation in this country, and I care not who white doesn't like truth, reality, and facts. Have a stroke. We have to live this. And for black people who are sick, and we have a very sick black population because they live in sickness where they feel that they can't be sinners. They can't be bad people. So when blacks kill 50 blacks and no one notices it, and one white officer shoots someone black, like the one in Ohio, the one that shot the girl, and honestly, I feel like Pontius Pilate. I found no fault in the police officer in Ohio. What would I have done? Probably the same thing. Why is everyone screaming about him? But I see just constant murders, robbing, raping in our community because there is a black response to the white thing. And that is, we can't commit sin because we're oppressed. And the other people feel like my sin, I can't sin because I'm in the superior group. It's still Satan. It says all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. And when Jonah went to Nineveh, he didn't just preach to the free people. God was going to destroy that whole city. And ultimately it happened in the book of Nahum. So in America, everybody needs to get right with God. And I've said this, and I almost got attacked by a group of black pastors for your white audience to know. When someone got mad that I said that people needed to work with other Christians who were white they started yelling and screaming. And I said to them, do you really think when you get before God that you can say, if you're not saved, that you can say there was a Ku Klux Klan or the Nazis or white supremacy prevented them from giving their heart to the Lord and getting saved? I says, I can assure you, you'll be a lot blacker as a charcoal briquette in hell than you are right now. If you think that you don't have some work to get done before you go to see your maker. And I mean, some video, the preachers got angry. They snatched the microphone. People start yelling and screaming because
from you, I can imagine they would have to snatch the microphone from you because I can barely get a question or a thought in.
I wasn't fighting over the microphone. They can have the microphone. The word of God stands, and it says
does.
Every knee will bow, every tongue, a black one, a white one, a psychedelic polka dot extraterrestrial tongue and knee is going to bow. And you're going to have to love your neighbors, whether your mom or your dad taught you that you were better or inferior to someone. You better get that, better work it out. Look at what the Chinese have done to us, that they knew that people wouldn't take this corona thing that seriously because they thought it would only kill a certain group of Americans. And now it's killing everybody. We can't afford racism and sin as a nation. We need to get rid of both of them.
Mm-hmm. You know, you're talking about racism and sin, talking about all that, the COVID virus. But have you noticed, because there's been huge reports about how Blacks aren't getting the medical care, especially during COVID, weren't getting the medical care and things like that. We've heard crazy reports about Black women having babies, not getting, the care that they need during the time that they're pregnant, the OB care. It's still existing, but I started this last segment talking about racism within the Black community, light skin against darker skin. Even our children, our babies are growing up and we're having, they want to play with the white Barbie doll, not the black doll. I mean, it's just things that have.
But that's taught in the home. The same way the kids I grew up with in Virginia were taught to hate Black people by their parents. Black parents teach their children that they're inferior. And so we're dealing with the splinter in the eyes of a white person instead of dealing with the beam. And now we've got mess. It's not just complexion, it's hair, it's nose.
Oh, you are right.
Okay,
you're
it's
telling the truth.
Type of buttocks, type of this, that. So we need to work. In fact, without holiness, nobody's going to see God. We have work to get on. And, we're talking about reparations. Well, we need to repair ourselves. Stop killing, stop raping. In fact, stop being Satanists. A lot of folks feel like their skin color, they worship melanin. Well, I'm holy because I've got melanin. It's garbage. There's some people that are melanin that sold your Black posteriors over here. And so let's not do this. Okay. Everybody's got to get right with God, and your melanin count or their lack thereof will not spare you from the judgment of God.
Amen. Well, I want to thank you so very much for coming on my show. You've been awesome. You've been great. And you have been amazing. And as always, have been outspoken. But I want people to still pick up your book, Slavery's Mastery. And tell us again where they can get a copy of this book.
hollismedia.net. www.hollismedia.net.
All right. So before I close out, one last question. What you think about Joe Biden?
He's degenerate. He's immoral. He's losing his mind. I believe that God's doing to him what he did to Nebuchadnezzar. Donald Trump is the real president of this country. I just can't accept Kamala Harris or Joe Biden. She's a modern day Jezebel. She's a fake Black. We came up the rough side of the mountain. She came up the rough side of Kama Sutra. She's like a yoga mat. It works on the floor and you roll it up. This is no reason to believe in these people. We need to have our proper president. I don't know if he'll get back in, but I certainly don't think that Biden is going to be doing well. I told folks by Labor Day And we may end up having this very wicked woman, Kamala Harris, as president, which is really sad.
You think that was the plan from the beginning?
Maybe. She doesn't believe in God. She's a Hindu. She's hostile to blacks. She's hostile to Christianity. She's hostile to the unborn. And the ignorant black people that voted color instead of voting. In fact, we wouldn't be dying from corona had people not hated Donald Trump so much and listened to him talking about ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine. Donald Trump,
which works, by the way.
It does work. And by the way, I've got Dr. Stella has sent me 60 new pills. So I'm going to South Dakota today to be at the Patriot Party at Mount Rushmore for the next couple of days, and to get people to be patriotic. I am patriotic. I love my country. I love God. And I always tell people I love my ancestors, in particular the white ones that stood against slavery when it was the law of the land and created a place that Bill Cosby's wife, who I think is a cousin of mine, called Sandy Spring. These white people created a place for black people to be free and to prosper. So if my ancestors could love beyond color when slavery was the law of the land, like someone said, history, there's no excuse for what we can do now. We need each other. The Chinese hate us. The Russians hate us. These illegals coming across this border that's broken, that Kamala can't go down to. Maybe if we told her she'd meet a boyfriend, she'd go. This is the only country I've got. This is my Congo. This is my Africa. We have to protect our country, and we have to make America great again. And that starts with believing in God through Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit.
All right. Well, he said it. Thank you so very much. We got to go. I can't believe we actually extended this time, but thank you, Dr. Short. Again, pick up a copy of his book, Slavery's Mastery. And you know what I say? Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow's not promised. What are you going to do today? You're going to love God. Put him first. God bless you and have a great day. There's only one race, the human race. All right. Thanks, Mark. I'm going to take you off, and then I'm going to continue talking to Dr. Short here. Dr. Short, man, you on a roll today.
I hope I didn't lose your audience for you.
Oh, no. Most of my audience is conservative. And those who like to just come on and listen to stuff, they get schooled. So it's okay. I have a vast audience. People like to come,
Well,
you good.
We got to tell people the truth about this.
We got to tell them the truth.
And I,
you know how that old saying go, tell the truth, shame the devil. Got to tell them the truth.
Oh, you should have seen those Negroes were so angry at me, and they wanted people to stop me, shut him up. And says, you got to, either you're with God or you're with the devil. You don't get to choose. That's the truth. And I said to him, I thought I was among Pentecostals. You mean you think being black saved you?
Why do people think that? I mean, it's just so sad. It is sad.
And told him, I don't know if I'm going to make it to heaven. God could.
Listen, we got to work out our own salvation with fear and trembling. Come on now.
I said, so I can't believe that anybody. Yeah, they were so angry at me. They were yelling and screaming and get to my.
Well,
make him stop.
I'll be praying for you.
Oh, no,
I'll be praying for you. Well, I'm just talking. You get ready to leave. I'm just praying that you have traveling mercies and that God protects you on the highway, the byways, the airways, and everything, so you can make it back safely. Call me. How long are you going to be gone?
Oh, I'll be back the 4th. I'm going to just be there 3 days.
Okay.
So I'll get there at midnight tomorrow, and I'll hang out for 2 days, and then I'll make certain that I get to where I need to go. But isn't that something? I know people were mad. I mean, make him shut up. Stop it.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we'll see what happens.
You should have seen. Now, it's okay. I didn't care what they thought. And
look, we got to tell them. We have to tell the truth. So there it goes.
Right. If we don't tell the truth, God gets us. It's like he's a thug. Like God went and told. No, God, you seen the little stories of the Book of King where God tells someone to go over and kill these people. And if you don't do it, I'm gonna kill you.
Look, that's what really cracks. But people think God is a wimp. He is not a wimp. He's God. Come on.
No. He's a stud that rocks. No, we have to go back to reminding people about hell.
Yeah.
And
Amen.
so we have to start,
because it's real.
Start telling Black folks that they're going to hell in particular, because you knew better. You had a praying grandmother. I always point out to people in the book of Hebrews, it says if you had a saving to trample underfoot the Son of Glory after having a saving knowledge of Christ, there's nothing can be done for you. You mean you came up with God in your home and you went out and did this?
That's a whole, we'll do, you know what? That's another show we need to do, because at one time the church was very prevalent in the Black communities. And I'm starting to see where there's such an infiltration of sin. That was always within the church, but now they're calling sin a civil right. And I don't think sin is neither civil nor right. And that has really changed a lot of the Black churches.
It's destroyed us. We're being destroyed.
It started with the tambourine players. You know what a tambourine player is, right?
I don't know.
Look at me, Dr. Short.
Oh, with the hand going back and forth, I can't see it. See, you know what
that is, right?
I used to play tambourine in church, so I was thinking that was kind of like.
I'm not talking about a tambourine player. You know which one I'm talking about.
Right. So all I'm going to say to you is that Black folk need to get right with God, they're not going to be able to say.
We all do.
Oh, the white man. And I told someone that's no. I said it's going to be like that Wendy's commercial. You're going to go up and say the white man, and God's going to say step aside. So
people need to stop. Talk about black man stop me. Oh, don't get me. The white man stopped me from doing this. Okay, so the white man's in your house, laying on top of you, stopping you from getting. Okay.
No. Okay. That's not it. Let me tell you. I had a poem I used to read called "The White Man's Fault." And the refrain, I have to rewrite it. And it says, I get all the death I can, blaming it all on the white man. Okay. And so I'm basically saying that I have to be an idiot and a moron, and I got to go out and cheat on my wife. Well, the white man's making me cheat on my wife. So it's always somebody white doing something, No, it's not the white man. And so we have to start demanding that people be accountable for what they do.
That's right.
You don't have to. I'm seeing these stories of these black men. This man killed a baby over a piece of birthday cake. Black man killed a baby over a piece of birthday cake. That man should be killed. I mean, we need to put an end. It used to be when people did stuff, they got punished. It came swiftly. And we need to bring some of that stuff back. You do something, one of these kids or something, that somebody come by and see you. My grandfather used to be one of those old gangster type community people. People didn't rape. If people raped folks that got out of town because the men would get them. They're afraid. That people like your husband, some good guy like that. I mean, if somebody do something, the people have to get out of town before the people could get them.
You got that camera every which way. All right. Well, let me go because I'm at a hotel. I got to go because I'm going to check out and get ready to go home. But thank you so very much. Always a joy having you on my show. And I'm so glad that your phone didn't mess up. At the beginning, how your phone started messing up. And I guess they figured you weren't going to say nothing correct. That you weren't going to say anything they didn't want to hear. So it started clearing up. Because sometimes I'll have conversations with you and your phone completely spazzes out.
Well, I'm
glad it was clear today.
Good.
Be safe.
All right.
Love you. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys, for watching. That's Dr. Randy Short. Absolutely go pick up his book, Slavery's Mastery. Dr. Short, send me the link. And what I'll do is I'll post a link with this video so people can get it. Okay.
I'll do that right away.
Thank you. God bless you. Love you.
God bless you.
Bye-bye.